I grew up in Northern California. I was born in a town of 200 people at the head of the Feather River called Greenville. But I got moved down to the valley when I was 3 to Modesto, California, where I grew up. Modesto is where they make all the bad wine. They grow all the grapes for Carlo Rossi and Gallo, box wine in Modesto. George Lucas is from Modesto. American Graffiti is about Modesto. And Hawkeye from the Avengers is from Modesto. I had moved down to Los Angeles to prostitute myself to big money. I had become a father. I was up in Seattle and I was a theater actor. And I knew coming out of high school that if I chose performing arts, that the deal was poverty. And an actor from the Berkeley Shakespeare Company tried to impress that on me. And so I went into it with open eyes, but when I saw my son being born, I realized that little baby didn't make that choice, and he didn't deserve to be poor. And so I came down to Los Angeles in a Hail Mary pass, just hoping to make some money, and within 6 months, I had landed Buffy. Apparently they were looking for someone for about 3 months and hadn't found anyone that fit. And 3 days before filming, they found me. So I have to assume that the word went out to scrape the bottom of the barrel of the talent pool. Just throw everybody at us. They were probably panicking. And I came in, I guess, with a credible accent. And Juliet Landau liked me. She was the character that was going to be going on for the whole season. So in that season, it was season 2 of Buffy, and the whole point was that Buffy and Angel sleep together, and Angel goes evil and kills me, and then takes up with my girlfriend so that Buffy can get her heart broken. That was the whole thing. And they didn't kill me. I was quite happy. They were paying me more than I'd ever been paid in my life, and they let me live. I'll never really figure out why. Yeah, if it had been me, I would have killed off Spike immediately. Because on Buffy, the vampires are only metaphors for the challenges that you face in high school, and they're supposed to be overcome. So vampires were supposed to be killed, and they tried one vampire in the kind of Anne Rice mold where you're supposed to feel for the vampire, and that was Angel, and he took off like a rocket, and they promised themselves they weren't going to do that again, because if they did that again, they might imperil the theme of the whole show. And then I came along, and I wasn't designed the audience wasn't supposed to really like me very much, but they did. And at that point, if I would have seen that happening, if I was producer, I would have just killed him off. Just get rid of him before he gets too popular. But they didn't, so yeah. If you ask an actor what they want to have done with their character, it's always going to be a version of make me look cool. Every time. And so I could give you some version of that, but that's never as interesting as what they come up with. They did things with Spike that terrified me, that made me uncomfortable, and I'm glad for all of it. None of it I would have chosen, and it was much more interesting than anything I would have thought of. Yeah. Well, they actually were, the plan was to put Spike in Firefly, which was another Joss's show about space. Actually, oh God, help me. The movie, help me out. The movie was called Firefly, was Serenity. The show was Firefly. So he took me over and introduced me to the cast of Firefly. I wish they would have just called it the same thing. Crazy. And I looked at all the space stuff, and I thought it was cool. He introduced me to the cast. They were all really friendly and wonderful. I didn't know why I was being introduced to them, but apparently the idea was that they were going to go into a bar, and this vampire was be sitting there going, "Nothing ever changes. It never changes." And so Spike is immortal, so he would be in the future, and he was going to join the cast, but they got canceled. We were terrified. We were certain that the musical episode was going to ruin the show. A lot of the cast had a really good point. They said, you know, I wasn't hired to be a musical actor. And I was hired to be a one-camera comedic / dramatic actor, and that's my wheelhouse, and that's what I do. And that's what I'm comfortable being filmed doing. And you're going to have me do something that I'm not good at, and you're going to ruin my career. It's not fair. And I think actually that's a pretty good point. I think that Sarah asked to juggle chainsaws. She said that that would literally be safer for her career than having to sing. Tony Head was comfortable singing. I was comfortable singing. Tony makes albums, and he's I think he was Frankenfurter in London in Rocky Horror Picture Show, so he was comfortable singing. I was in a band already. That was no problem. But I just thought that the song sucked, and I was wrong. The problem is that Joss gave us a cassette tape of him singing the songs, and as a singer, he's a really good writer, and I don't think any song would sound good with him singing. I'll be honest. So the songs, it was just him plunking around on a piano and him singing, and to my punk rock mind, it sounded cheesy. And it's my favorite episode because after all the whinging and the fear got done with, we got down to work, and a lot of the cast hired vocal coaches and movement coaches out of their own pocket. And we got down to work, and we decided if the show was going to go down in flames and all of our careers were over, we're going to go down swinging, and we were going to try our best. And then it didn't suck. It was amazing. And I think that the theme of Buffy is don't give up. Like, life gets hard, it's a challenge, it hurts for sure, but it's worth it, so keep going. And I think that for one episode, we lived up to the theme. We spoiled Hollywood actors actually did it. Yeah. Well, you know, I think that the point of the end of Angel was to make the arc of Angel complete. So Angel starts as a villain, and he's got to end as a true hero. And I think that we were facing a dragon that we were definitely going to be killed by. We were going to try to save people, even though it was hopeless. We weren't going to be able to save anybody, but we had to try anyway. And I think that's probably the most heroic thing that I can think of, which is to fight to the death for a useless cause to try to help out. And so I think that we were willing to die. And after we filmed the episode, we fully thought that we were all toast. And then the comic books came out, which apparently are canon, and we survived. So, okay, I don't know how, but somehow someone killed that dragon. Probably Angel killed the dragon.